Some big fly first updates you don't want to miss. Then Wayne Nugent makes his Major League Baseball debut. And later on, another new country joins the family. All that coming up. You're watching WV Live. Hello and welcome back to episode 19 of WV Live, where we read the news so you don't have to. I'm your host, Scott Caldwell. Well, before we get started, a quick apology. Some of our loyal viewers noticed for a few weeks at the end of July and the beginning of August, you could only find episode 18 in the back office or on our Vimeo channel because our entire YouTube channel was down. So if you're just joining us and we're looking to binge watch your way through the first 18 episodes of WV Live, well, let's just say you'll have to pick things up starting with episode 3. But anyway, I wanted to issue an official my bad to the rights holding parties in question, and thank you all for your patience, as well as the WorldVentures legal team for their tireless efforts. And now, on with the show. We begin with a Fly First update. For our international brothers and sisters, Fly First Global concluded another round on August 18th, so all those who qualified from July 22nd to August 18th are now in line to get their cards. Congratulations. The next round of Fly First Global will run from August 19th to September 22nd. All the same rules apply. Meanwhile, stateside, the Super Fly First promotion, as Eddie calls it, also ended its first round on August 18th and is also being extended from August 19th to September 22nd. The difference, of course, being that we are closing out batches every week on Tuesday at midnight Central Time. Those qualifiers are receiving their invites to order approximately 7 days after the week closes out, and the qualifying sale has funded their membership. Then, once received, the orders have been shipping approximately 9 days later, so Fly Beta cards are flying out the door. And speaking of the beta program, those qualifiers are also being invited to join the closed Facebook group for the Fly Smart Card beta team. Obviously, with the rapid expansion of the program, this has created some additional challenges. First of all, if you're experiencing a delay being accepted, please be patient. We're working through them as quickly as we can. Now, once you're added, you'll see we have a video from the one and only Eddie Head that's pinned to the top of the page. In it, Eddie runs down what a beta program actually is, covers some common questions, manages expectations, and talks about the future of the ecosystem as a whole. Also, once you're in the group, please note that we've made some recent changes to the format. To help limit the overall noise, we've moved to all posts requiring admin approval. This was done primarily to curb some of the abundance of visual feedback posts. We're no longer approving posts to the Facebook group with, "It worked," or "No luck at Joe's Sandwich Emporium," otherwise there's just way too much noise on the page. However, we absolutely want your feedback, but it needs to be in the right channel. Once you're in the beta program, you'll have a new tab under More in the Dream Trips app for the Fly Beta program, and there is a feedback submission within the app. Simply click on Fly Smart Card, then the gear icon, then Help, and Send Feedback. That way it's tied to your account number and we can track it in our system. So anytime the card works, anytime it fails, that is where it needs to go. See, with over 10,000 cards shipped now, we're getting a ton of new info, and your role as a beta tester is vitally important to the program. It's way more than just showing the blinking light to your friends. You're helping develop a world-class product that can be launched to the masses. That's why you're in the beta program. We need to test a large volume of cards to identify any problems, whether that's software bugs or hardware issues. So if you've got your beta card and you've had some challenges, don't let it bother you. Simply submit the feedback or call Fly support and let us know about it. The time and effort you invest now will help the entire company as we ramp up Fly on a global scale. Can't stress that enough. Back to the Facebook group, we've also started limiting what's approved to posts that add a new value. If your post asks a basic question that's been answered multiple times already or doesn't have any meaningful content in it, it probably won't be approved. It's the only way to keep the group manageable and providing value when we've got thousands of members and growing. But don't worry, some new FAQs are on their way, and we're working hard to make this beta program as enjoyable as possible. Oh, and lastly, while we're on the subject, remember, you cannot post any social media content about Fly. Let me say that again. You cannot post any social media content about Fly. No snaps, no stories, no grams, no tweets, no videos, no Facebook, nothing, Nathan, nada. It is part of the program. If you see anyone doing so, please email compliance@worldventures.com. This is absolutely grounds for getting your beta card shut off as well as other actions, so take this seriously. There are a number of reasons for this I won't get into, but we have to protect this house, so thank you for your support. Next up, before we get to Wayne, let's talk about another home run, the Advantage. Great news. As of the last app update, you can now find both the WorldVentures Advantage and the Advantage Lite in the Dream Trips app. If you're a subscriber, click on More, then Rep Tools, and if you scroll over, you'll find a new WVA tab to the right of Rep Enrollment. P.S. While you're there, you'll also find the most recent episode of WV Live under the Training Videos tab in the same section. So you've got even less excuses to avoid all of this. But back to Advantage. If you're just joining us, Advantage Lite rolled out at Boot Camp in Miami back in July, and people are loving it. For the low price of just $5.99 US per month, you've got access to the digital-only version of Voyager Magazine, as well as all the digital versions of Drive Time University Overdrive. That's right, $6 little. It's practically free. And did I mention the Secret Advantage? That's the new Facebook group you also get access to if you're an Advantage subscriber. We already heard great messages from Eddie Head, Byron Schraga, and Sachin Govinder in just the first 3 weeks, plus unscheduled appearances from Julio Acosta and Dave Ulloa, and there's so much more to come. We've been working hard to get everyone added, but trust me, it's worth the wait. And you know, if you haven't already made your Dream Trips Gold or Platinum sale to qualify for Fly First, getting that extra shot of training content might just do the trick. So make sure you subscribe to Advantage or Advantage Lite today. All right, in sports news, a fun story out of Dallas. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. WorldVentures founder, chief visionary officer, and all-around kid at heart, Wayne Nugent took the mound at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas on Tuesday, August 15th to throw out the first pitch for the Texas Rangers baseball team. They then proceeded to put the hurt on the Detroit Tigers with a 10-4 thumping, so clearly it was good luck. Wayne was joined by several team members from corporate as well as numerous reps in the stands rocking those "You Should Be Here" signs, and good times were had by all. Speaking of the big leagues, how would you like to be in the WorldVentures Hall of Fame? That's right, as the thousands of you who visited our home office in Plano before or after United found out, we now have a Hall of Fame, as in an actual hall, and we want you in it. Now, if you're like most people, after the tour, you probably threw away the flyer with your goodie bag. And while that's terrible for the environment, good news for you, we're here to remind you all about it. So here's the deal. We have this long hall on the second floor, which you'd know about if you ever came to visit, but it's cool. Anyway, it's pretty bland and empty, and so one of my favorite people, Alice Mecoy, who also happens to be our director of facilities, came up with this awesome idea. We want to fill this hallway top to bottom with your smiling faces and your best "You Should Be Here" pics. It's super easy. Find your very best high-resolution "You Should Be Here" photo, print it out on high-quality 5x7 or 8x10 photo paper, frame it in a hanging wall frame, put a sticky note on it with your first and last name, preferred contact info, and your WorldVentures rep ID number, pack it up carefully so it doesn't break in transit, and ship it to WorldVentures Hall of Fame, 5100 Tennyson Parkway, Plano, Texas, 75024. Once we get it, we'll put it up on the wall, and you'll be able to brag to all of your friends that your picture is hanging in the WorldVentures Hall of Fame. You might even want to add that to your resume or your LinkedIn profile at least. Obviously, the usual photo submission rules apply. We own it. You sign away your rights. Can't be inappropriate, risque, offensive, etc. You know the drill. But how awesome is that? 6 easy steps. Find it, print it, frame it, label it, pack it, and ship it. Doesn't get much simpler than that. So let's see those pics. All right, we now turn to the southwestern Pacific Ocean. We've got some choice news for you, bro. As of this month, WorldVentures is finally open in New Zealand. Comprised of 2 main land masses, the North Island and the South Island, as well as around 600 smaller islands, New Zealand is situated some 1,500 kilometers or 900 miles east of Australia across the Tasman Sea, and is home to approximately 4.8 million people. And now, all those Kiwis are able to join our Blue Sign tribe. Personally, I've been a fan of New Zealand ever since I saw Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy and realized this country was basically God's lab where he perfected every type of biome imaginable before rolling them into production on a global scale. It's just plain spectacular, and now I have even more of an excuse to come visit. But forget me, Kiwis, get excited because WorldVentures leaders are bringing the heat on a 3-city tour September 9th through the 11th. General Manager for the Asia-Pacific region, Mr. Anthony Fitzgerald, is coming to Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch. But he's not coming alone. He's also bringing IMD's Shane Anderson, RMD's Bill and Robin Maywes, Lou Hardy, and several others, as well as your pal and mine, the president of Global Sales himself, Mr. John McKillop. If you haven't already, check out Anthony's welcome video on Vimeo. And if you know anyone in New Zealand, it's time to give them a call. And to all our new Kiwi brothers and sisters, on behalf of everyone else in Plano, welcome to the WorldVentures family. Sweet as. Finally, events. Hard to believe it, but the View is almost upon us. Mark Aceta kicks things off September 15th through the 17th in Pretoria, South Africa, and as of this recording, there are still tickets available. Then, if you're in the U.S., we've got a whopping 34 RTEs all over the country, as well as one out in Hawaii and Puerto Rico, all on September 23rd. Then the View touches down in Hong Kong September 29th through October 1st before hopping down to Melbourne, Australia, October 13th through the 15th. Then it's Las Vegas stateside October 27th through the 29th, and finally London November 17th through the 19th. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna want to be there. Find a ticket. You'll thank me later. Tickets are available while they last at wveventreg.com. Go on, you know what to do. All right. Well, that does it for this episode. Send us your feedback and suggestions at wvlive@worldventures.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Scott Caldwell, and this has been WV Live, where we read the news so you don't have to.